guys, it's Michelle and welcome back to the Royal Daily Tea. So did this necklace contribute to the downfall of Marie Antoinette and lead to the French Revolution? This is called the Affair of the Necklace, or the Queen's Necklace, and the story surrounding this necklace and the French Revolution. If you don't know, I have another YouTube channel called Royal Daily Tea History and Fashion. I just released a brand new series called Cursed Jewels. So if you're interested in learning the history of this necklace and the possible link to the downfall of Marie Antoinette, I will leave you a link down below. But you guys, we have a lot of juicy royalty to get through today, so you know what to do. Sit back and relax, grab yourself a beverage, and let's get into the Royal Daily Tea. So we all heard the mythical, pumped up version of how Prince Harry lost his V card to a MILF, to a much older hot woman on a sunny afternoon in a field behind a pub, where she mounted him and rode him like the hot stallion that he is, and then she dismounted him and smacked him on his backside and sent him off on his way. Well, the problem with that is that's actually not true. So the woman who was responsible for giving Harry his raucous royal rump behind a field where he lost his V card has come forward to tell her side of the story. It's a little bit of a he said, she said. Her name is Sasha Walpole, who is 40 years old, who is a happily married mother of 2. So the ironic thing is she's literally a year younger than Meghan Markle. So Prince Harry had tongues a-wagging and kept people guessing who was this older woman who helped Harry get rid of his V card. A lot of people were pointing to Elizabeth Hurley. It was like everyone was envisioning Stifler's mom, Jennifer Coolidge, seducing the young wild buck in a field. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but she was not a MILF. She was not Elizabeth Hurley or Jennifer Coolidge. She was, in fact, a girl who worked at the stables at Highgrove, who was a friend of Harry's for 2.5 years. They were both teenagers, and they hung around the same group of people who were into horses, according to her. She was a groomer working at Highgrove. Now, she was 18, going on 19. Harry was around 16 when this event happened. Now, they were friends for quite a while. Not best friends, but good enough to where he would go to her birthday party. Now, he showed up with a Miss Piggy stuffed animal dressed in like a tropical beach attire, and according to her, he stuffed the bra of Miss Piggy to make it look like she had bigger boobs. Apparently, he had won it earlier that day at Thorpe Park and brought it to her as a birthday present. He gave her an adorable birthday card that had something to do with, well, farts, and inside he wrote, "Darling Sash, have a very happy birthday and don't get too pissed. Luckily, I'll be there to keep an eye on you. Loads of love, Baz." Now, during this birthday party where she turned 19, she was having a very difficult time as she had just gone through a breakup with her longtime boyfriend by the name of Skip. Now, Skip and her were still friends, and she had invited Skip to her birthday party. However, an hour into the event, his new girlfriend, Heidi, shows up at the birthday party. So we can all see the drama and the angst that was surrounding this 19-year-old birthday party. And she said that Harry had took it upon himself to cheer her up, kept asking her if she was okay, noticing her ex-boyfriend is there now with a new girl. Again, that is teenage drama at its finest. So he went and got them 10 shots of alcohol, 5 shots for each of them, and they drank a variety of liquor and got extremely drunk. So they decided to sneak out back to have a cigarette, and Harry kind of lost his security detail. He didn't want people to see him smoking because, you know, they don't want to be photographed smoking. So they went behind a pub to have a cigarette. Now, according to her, Harry is the one who made the first move. That if they were two friends just, you know, sharing a smoke, it was not premeditated. They were just having a smoke. They started kissing, and then one thing led to another. Now, she said it was instant fire, kind of wham bam between the two friends. It was sparky because they were doing something they know they shouldn't have been doing. It felt naughty, but they were both a little out of control. And then she's like, it just kind of happened. Now, she was wearing an outfit that kind of had a low-hanging belt that she ended up losing her belt during the event and had to go back the following day to find her belt. Now, according to her, it was a very quick event. He didn't seem to care too much about her. She had a good time because it was super fast, like 5 minutes. The whole escapade was around 15 minutes from the time they started smoking to the time it was done, because they quickly realized that their friends were going to come outside. People were going to start looking for him. His security detail actually rode around in her blue Fiesta looking for Harry. They kind of had escaped security, and they realized very quickly, okay, we need to separate. We need to come back separately so people won't know we were together in the field. Now, according to her, the moment was just very quick. It was very passionate. She didn't know he was a virgin, but again, he didn't do much for her. They didn't use protection, which is kind of scary, but again, they were young, they weren't thinking, they were drunk. She kind of smacked him on the backside and gave him a little pinch, but she said the part about the stallion, she didn't know where he got that from because he certainly wasn't a stallion. Again, it was like riding My Little Pony versus a stallion. It was a whole 5 minutes. But she thinks that was because she worked with horses is why he came up with the stallion reference. But they quickly realized they jumped over the fence and went their separate ways, and Harry was found in a red phone booth where security picked him up, and then she never heard from him again. He literally pulled a Meghan Markle. He Markled her and he ghosted her. Now, according to her, she wasn't upset. I personally don't believe that. But she said she wasn't upset that they ended up, separating. She started hanging out with a different group of people where she eventually met her husband. Now she's a happily married woman with 2 kids, works as an excavator, but hasn't heard from Harry since. Now the next day, she had to go back to the field to retrieve her missing belt. So all of her girlfriends were laughing, and people in their inner circle kind of knew something happened, but she kept it quiet for 21 years. Now, the interesting thing is that she said she's not upset with how Harry described the event in the book. However, she would have appreciated them kind of giving her a heads up, considering the fact she kept her mouth shut for 21 years. But in all, she's not overly upset about it. But the interesting thing is that Harry worked really hard to build up this moment to make it seem like Elizabeth Hurley straddled him and rode him like a stallion, like Stifler's mom was just seducing him, like in his wet dream, right? In his wet dream. Like, come on. It didn't happen that way. I also feel that Harry was a little embarrassed that the stable girl, he had sex with the stable girl, basically. You have to remember, she was not a blue blood. She was not upper class. She was kind of the working folk. You know what I'm saying? Even though they were friends, and he was very sweet to her on her 19th birthday, but literally they share a moment and he ghosts her. That is first class dirty Harry did her dirty, in my opinion. So he definitely, made that moment seem a lot more like Stifler's mom in American Pie-esque. He definitely wanted to keep tongues a-wagging and keep people guessing who was this hot MILF who took away his V card and was literally his friend who worked in the stable. Okay, it was definitely not the moment he was building it up to be. Now, of course, he could have, was trying to maybe keep her secret. Maybe he didn't want to out her, whatever. But I really think he was trying to make it into something that it wasn't. Now, an interesting thing is that the actor Rupert Everett, literally the day before the story broke, said he knows the real older woman who took his virginity, and it wasn't behind a pub in a field, and it wasn't even in the same country. Now, I personally believe he could be talking about a different woman on a different occasion, because let's be honest, I'm sure she probably thought he was a virgin. You know what I mean? 5 minutes in a royal rump doesn't make you an expert lover. And again, Harry, you are no stallion. He's one of those horsies you see outside the grocery store where you put in your 5 cents and it does a little vibration. That's my opinion. So she could have mistaken him for being a virgin, right? It was the second or third time. I don't know. But according to Rupert Everett, he knows a woman who had a night with Harry. Whether that is true or not true, why he would feel the need to speak upon it, literally the day before the actual woman came out and said, I'm the one who took his V card. Interesting, but I have to say it doesn't paint Harry in a great light. Right? So when you tell your secrets, you got to be prepared for the other people to tell their side of the story. It's a he said, she said to this event, but quite frankly, I believe her side, and she has the royal receipts, she has the notes, she has the stuffed animal, she has the photographs. I full-heartedly believe her side of the story versus Harry. Now, I don't believe Harry was trying to be mean or rude, but he referred to her as an older woman, and she's literally a year younger than his wife. It's just bizarre why he didn't just say a friend, an associate, someone I knew. Again, maybe he was trying to protect her identity, but then he said it was behind a pub where anyone who knew him could have figured that out. So it's just weird to me why he tried to change her identity. I think he was embarrassed that she was a stable girl and he was trying to make it to this mythical Elizabeth Hurley. I don't know. It's very interesting that she came out and she told the world who she was. Now, some people were saying, you know, why did she come out? Why is she telling her story? Well, I think she wanted to clear her name because people in her inner circle knew about it. People have known about this for years, and she wanted to tell her side of the story, which quite frankly was sweet, but it was also kind of sad the way that he ghosted her. So what are your thoughts about Harry losing his V card to a woman who was 2 years older and who worked at the stables versus the mythical, you know, Stifler's mom and Elizabeth Hurley that he was piping it up to be? And what do you think about Harry ghosting her the next day? Leave me your comments, guys, down below. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye, guys.